Shout out to the OG Jason Wilson, who said this.
During my era, were deceived into living what is called the thug life. But it wasn't until recently did I create an acronym for it, because I understand now truly what a thug was. A thug is a traumatized human unable to grieve. A person who wears trauma like it's a badge of honor. And then we wonder why we're so quick to lose it at the slightest offense. When you walk around with your threshold for tolerance here, as soon as anything happens, you're going to snap. It doesn't mean that you're real. It just means that you haven't allowed your heart to purge all the pain that you feel.
Again, an amazing quote from one of our OGs, a man, a sage, a wise man, and author of the book, Cry Like a Man. Now, I want to modify his acrostic just a little bit. While I'm in complete agreement at his premise and how so many men are unable to grieve and how that leads to anger and outbursts and abuse and aloofness to why they need their emotions, here's the issue. The issue is not an inability. The issue is something else. So if I was to modify Jason Wilson's acrostic for the word thug, I would say it's this: because many men are emotional thugs, traumatized humans unwilling to grieve. The issue is not an inability. The issue is an unwillingness, because we've been taught to associate emotions with weakness. We've been taught to toughen up and to man up. And consequently, that has meant not to feel or to distract yourself from feeling what's going on inside. But we are very keen and aware of the emotion of disrespect. Disrespect permeates every aspect of our bodies. This is why oftentimes we find ourselves processing our pain destructively, because not that we have an inability to grieve or an inability to feel, but rather an unwillingness. And this shows up, men, in our relationships. It leads to an affair, it leads to abuse, it leads to aloofness, and it leads to us trying to absolve ourselves of our responsibilities. But there's a better way. We need to take the journey to wholeness. This is why I'm writing How to Speak Man, discovering the respect languages men need. There are 5 respect languages we need in relationships to feel safe to be vulnerable, because we don't lack emotions. Sometimes we lack the space and safety to be free to express those emotions. But men, we are not off the hook. God gave you emotions. You're made with emotions. You need to embrace your emotions. While you don't need to be led by them, there is a journey to emotional mastery so you can be the man that God has called you to be. This is why one of the fruit of the Spirit, there are 9, is self-control. It's not emotional evasion. It's being able to embrace our emotions, but not let our emotions lead us. Again, this is why I wrote How to Speak Man, discovering the respect languages men need, and you can pre-order it right now. Let's take the journey to wholeness to be the men God has called us to be, the husbands our wives need, and the fathers our children need as well. Let's go.